I noticed that ever since women have been allowed to vote, that everything just been screwed up and it's getting worse. Was it a mistake to allow women the rights to vote?
No, I think it's like the morally correct position. I think it is part of the American project. Agency is really, really important, both in our faith, choice is salvation, and in the American project. So, no, giving women the choice is good.
So was it a good thing or a bad thing to allow them to vote, though?
It's good. It's moral.
I'm sorry?
It's the good thing. It's the moral thing to do.
But why is it the moral thing? And when they were not, or a good thing, when they were not allowed to vote, America was amazing. But once they allowed them to vote, they want free health care. They want free babysitting services. They want us to pay for all that. They want to save the blacks, and they want daycare. They want us to pay for everything. And they always vote the wrong way because of
What do you
their
mean?
emotional and mental capability. They tend to be like unable to make the right decision because their psyche is not logical. And as a result, the country going to hell in a handbasket. Do you agree with that?
No. Do you think that America in 1880 is bigger, stronger, and more American than America in like the 1980s?
I think America was better before women had the right to vote than it is
So
today.
1880 America.
But even like that, do you think that's because of women voting though? You have to demonstrate that it was better in the 80s and whatever the late 1800s because women had the right to vote. You have to demonstrate that.
Was better, even though Britain was a superpower.
It still was better than it is today. Because now that, if you notice, now that the women are allowed to vote, and there's, according to reports, more women than men, socialism is coming about, men jobs are being taken away from them, men children are being taken away from them because, of course, are on the side of the woman. And everything is insane because even cars are soft and they don't make noise anymore because the women complain about the noise.
It's probably more old people, but
I wonder if that's true or not. I never realized that. Like, yeah, cars are more quieter. Is that because the women complain? I don't know.
my suspicion. It's usually old people that make noise complaints, or people with young children versus women.
No, it's a woman's thing. Men love loud cars.
Yeah, they love the
why did God?
they love the rum 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 rum. You know what I mean? It sounds pretty cool. So that's funny though. I never
Give us
thought
the
about
right to
that.
choose? Why does he make salvation a choice?
God didn't give you the right to choose.
He did. He put the tree of evil. He made choice right from Adam and Eve.
Right. But that was only because he wanted man to know that he's not going to force you to love him. You have to love him or not love him. But what does that have to do with women voting?
Well, if God views choice as more important than sin, right? Because if he hadn't put the tree of good and evil in the garden, that we wouldn't have ever had a choice to do sin. And so if God valued our ability to choose, even though he knew we would choose wrong, who are we in the American project to say, okay, well, we know better, and actually we're going to take away people's right to choose because we're actually better than God in this way. It seems very directional with salvation, that agency is like the most important thing, because if you don't have choice, then it means that you are simply a slave to doing good things by necessity, and that isn't a good world at all. The person who can look at evil and look at good and choose good anyways.
Pterodactyl, that's funny. Women protest for the right to walk around topless and then not do it ever. That's a good point.
That's noble, and we need to make, like, God makes a space for us to do that, despite the fact that even with God, we choose wrong every single day.
But God only gave us one choice, and that choice is to come out of hell if we want. You can live in your misery all of your life, or you can realize, you know what, I'm tired of living in hell. And emotional people are living in hell, right? And so you decide, you know what, God, I'm tired of living this way. Help me out of it. That's the only choice you have.
Well, Burgess, she claims to be a Christian, but I'm going to play this part in particular because it shows like where her priorities are when it comes to her religion and her faith.
Or he'll just leave you in your hell. You have no other choice.
Well, I feel like even once you choose God, like Christians still do sin, right?
But they don't choose God. But what does that have to do with women voting, though? That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's about choice, right? The reason why I think women voting is good is because it's giving them more choice.
But women
Who, Jesse Lee Peterson, brave me insane? Why? Because it looks like Jushin Thunder Liger. Because that's what I was thinking. It looks like Jushin Thunder Liger's
don't make choices.
wrestling gear.
They don't know how to make the right choice because they're so emotional.
So women can't sin?
They're so
You see it,
emotional.
Joseph.
Women are so emotional and neurological, they can't make the right choice. Have you noticed that?
But I guess I'm asking, like, if women can't choose, then they can't sin. They're just kind of like
I
meat
don't know what
robots.
that had to do with that.
Well, sin is about choice, right? Like if I steal cookies and my parents go, Kyla, did you steal cookies? And I go, no, I've made a choice to lie to my parents in that moment, right?
No.
No?
The only choice that a human being has is to whether they want to come out of their misery. If you realize, you know what, I don't like living this way, I'm unhappy, I'm miserable, or have fear and all that, I want out. That's the only choice they make. You never make a choice in your whole life after that. And you're not making a choice before that.
So is God making you sin when you are a Christian who acts in sin? Christians sin, right?
What does that have to do with women voting? I'm trying to understand that.
Choice, right? Like God, you said God only allows you to have one choice. And it's like, well, no, God, even when you choose him,
she keeps conflating voting and choice, and it's like not the same thing. Voting, and we're talking about voting here, the voting system. That's not the same thing as choice. Just because a voting is making a choice, he's not talking about the same thing. But she conveniently tries to conflate the two as if they are the same.
Actually asks you to choose him every single day, bear your cross every day, right? And so God allows us to choose constantly. He's constantly allowing us the space to choose to sin or not to sin, even as Christians, every single day. That's why we need him every day. We don't need God once in our life. We need God every single day because we have the choice to do noble or ignoble. And if God values choice to that level, we probably should too.
So I guess you're not going to answer the question about what is that. Since women are so illogical, emotionally and mentally, they can't make the right decision. Why would they be given the right to vote when they don't know what they want?
I guess I'm saying to you, I think women can make choices. I think women can sin. I think women make choices all the time. You might not agree with the choices that they make, but for us to call their actions wrong, we either have to say, well, they're just meat robots that can't help but doing evil things, or we have to say women are choosing bad things. But if they're meat robots, then they're more like children. We don't get mad at children for doing the wrong thing when they don't know better. We teach them better. But I don't view women that way. I think women are adults that can make choices. They can make bad choices and good choices. I just believe in a system where we allow them to make those choices, including allowing them to make bad choices, because I think that's what's modeled for us in our faith.
Do you agree with me that the God above is the man's God and the God below, Satan, is the woman's God?
No, I think God made all of us in his image.
That's not what I asked her. I know he made all of us, but do you agree? Did the woman come from God or from the man?
She came from his rib, but I don't think Adam made her, right? Eve was made by God and he put his breath into her.
But did she come from the man or did she come from God?
Genuinely, I think God created humanity. So
that's not what I'm asking though, but did the woman come from the man or from God?
She came from God.
No. Did the man come from God or the woman?
God.
I'm sorry.
See, she doesn't want to let that go. She wants to be like, no, it came from God.
Sorry?
Man comes from God too.
And the woman came from who? Whom?
God.
No.
She came from his rib. Adam didn't make Eve. I don't think men Men are not God.
But did God take the woman out of the man and created her?
God did, yeah.
And so she's created his image.
In God's image, yeah.
No, the man's image.
Well, we have breasts. We have
The
we're
man is
literally not
created-
made in his
The
image.
man is created in God's image, and the woman is created in the man image. Am I right?
Well, I feel like men and women are really different, right?
They are. But
So if we were made
yeah.
in man's image,
They are different.
then he did a bad job of making us look like men. We're pretty different. I feel like we are made by God, and God made us
But you
different
may
to
feel
complement
that
one
way,
another.
but did the woman come from man or did she come from God?
God.
No.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that human beings, even man, is creating life in the way that God is. God breathed
God
life
gave the
into
life to
human
the
beings.
woman. God took the woman from the man's body and created her, but he created the woman in the man's image and created God in his image.
Then why do they look so different?
They don't.
If she's made
One
man and
is
women look very
softer.
different.
If you look, women are created like men. They have breasts like a man. They just made to have babies, so they get milk, all those kind of things that men don't
Yeah,
get. But the
they're really
woman is
different.
created in the man's image, and he is created in God's image. So is Satan, which did you know that the woman God is the God from below, and the man's God is the God from above?
She looked like a deer in the headlights. You're like, oh shit, what the hell? What conversation did I get into? And she obviously like did this show because she wants the clout, she wants that audience. That's why she does like these shows like that, not because she's really there to try to engage in good faith and have a conversation, because she knows she gets outclassed every time. She's getting outclassed here. She's proving in real time, like his point about how women are illogical. And like I said, I'll show you why at the end of this.
I don't think that that's a Christian belief. No.
And why not?
I would say that that's heretical. No,
It's taught
that's
in
not
the
true.
Bible. Why is not a Christian belief?
Because women and man are both made by God. God calls both women and men to act in his image, and both of them can achieve salvation by faith in him. This is obvious by women being Deborah, women being used by God multiple times, Deborah the priestess. Like there's multiple instances
But
in which
Deborah
God is
was led by men. She didn't make her own decision. That men instructed her on the decisions to make. But let me ask this about
that's not true.
about the
That's not true
woman
about Deborah.
being
It's not true.
about the woman God. Remember in the Bible, in the Word, where once upon a time Adam had a relationship with God, and then his wife Eve loved him, had a relationship with him, and all three were one because the woman believed in the husband who believed in the father. You know about that, right?
It sounds like when you read the Bible, God was engaging with both of them. When they were found in sin, both were ashamed of their nudity. It seems like God had a relationship
Gosh,
with
he always has
both
to
of
make
these
it both.
individuals.
Both.
I don't think God
Well,
only engaged with Adam.
He did, but it was through the husband that he had the relationship with the wife. Because
I don't know.
the
I don't think
husband-
that there's biblical
the
evidence for
husband
that.
Adam and the father were one. And when they married, the woman became one with the husband, which was one with God. And then one day, the woman had to go shopping. And she went to the market and she ran up on Satan.
Women be
And
shopping.
Satan had already tried to tempt Adam, and Adam said, no, get out of here, not going to listen to the lie.
I don't think there's any
And
biblical evidence
so
that
the
Adam had been
woman-
tempted first.
The woman went to the market and she met Satan there. And Satan was like, hey, Eve, how are you? She's like, fine. And he asked her, you still with that man? And she like, yeah, I am. I love my husband. And he like, you could be your own woman. You don't have to listen to that man. She's like, no. Long story short, she went home, made dinner. They were having dinner, she and Adam. And she like, I saw Satan there at the market. And Adam like, stay away from him. He's trying to deceive you. Don't believe the lie. And she's like, okay. And then she went back a second time, another time. And she ran into Satan again. And Satan said to her, Adam, you still with that woman? I mean, Eve, you still with that man? Like, yeah, don't listen to him.
Is
He
this all in
listened
like the
to-
Mormon book?
he
I
like-
don't think I've read this in the
he
Bible,
like,
but
don't
maybe it's in
listen
the
to
Mormon
him.
Bible.
He
I'm not
listened
sure.
to his father. He's not even his own man. You could be your own woman. You can take your bra off. You can do what you want. And she believed that lie. And the moment she believed that lie, she no longer believed her husband. They became separated, and Satan became her God. And then Adam couldn't believe it. Like, what have you done, Satan? Eve, you listen to the devil. Now you can't believe the truth. You don't obey me anymore or anything. And then Eve became very puffed up because now she know about evil and good. So she finally convinced Adam, you don't have to listen to your father. You could be like me. You can know good and evil. You can judge. You can play God and everything. And Adam listened to the woman, and then the woman became his God because he could no longer believe the father. And father like, what have you done, Adam? He's like, well, you gave me that woman. I listened to that woman. And he said, well, because you listened to the woman, you're going to suffer. And so every time the man listens to his woman today, he suffers. And then the evil that come through to the children come through the woman because her nature, until she's truly born again of God, her nature is evil because she has no love, and it's passed on to the children generation after generation after generation. Have you noticed that as a Christian?
Maybe there's a new version of the Message that I haven't read, but I don't remember
Well,
that
read
being in
Genesis.
if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I understand that. Read Genesis. It's in the fall of Adam and Eve.
I
And
don't
you will
remember
see
anything about
why
dinner.
you will see
or
where Satan is the woman's God and the God above. Well, until that man overcome the woman is his God. That's why men don't know what to do with women, because they got to overcome mama, forgive their mother so they can come back to the father. So that's why read that so you'll see, since you're a Christian, you will see why Satan is the woman's God and evil come through the woman.
I think if any notable actual religious leader had come to that conclusion, I might be open to you. I don't think anyone theologically agrees with you. But again, maybe I haven't read the new version. I don't know if this is like the Mormon Bible or the Message or something.
It's not the new version. It's in the King James Bible.
This is not Genesis, right?
What is a notable? What did you say? Notable what?
Theologian?
What's a notable theologian?
Yeah, she got the Destiny voice. Like, she's definitely, like, if Destiny transitioned, it's her. That's why she gets called Girl Destiny. She talks the exact same way as Destiny, just girl voice. Like, seriously.
Somebody that's respected.
I'm going to try to fast forward a little bit.
To follow.
Neither.
I'm sorry?
Neither.
And is it
well, I guess follow in the same way that I think Adam was built to follow, I suppose.
Follow who?
God.
And the woman is supposed to follow the man.
God. If a woman is putting man over God, that's a problem. God has to come first for every single person.
But okay, so keep that in mind, because Jesse Lee Peterson asked her, like, okay, should the woman follow man while the man follows God? And she goes, no, they both should follow God. Everyone should put God first and follow God. Okay, so now look what she says near the end, which again proves his entire freaking point here. Let me see this here. Let me see if I could find it here.
Of being followed by women.
Mm-hmm. Now we like stats, hey?
And so
we like to pick and choose when we like stats, don't we?
It's because earlier in the interview, she tried to bring up stats about, let me see if it's shutting down the border, do educated women. I think it's about women being educated or something like that. And I forgot exactly what it was, but you don't even have to really look at the stats to know that the stats she's citing are full of shit, because again, we live in reality here. We could tell that's not really happening. Like, there are just some times where people cite studies and you kind of just know that's not true. It'd be like if you're arguing with someone and they're like, no, the sky is purple. And then I'm like, no, the sky is blue. And then they go, well, I have a study that shows the sky is purple. Like, you would kind of know, like, well, that study's full of shit because I could see the sky is blue here. Like, I don't care what study. It's the same thing with here. Like, that's why he kind of dismissed her study, because it's like, well, we could tell that it's kind of full of shit.
of being
But she's kind of butthurt about it because he kind of brushed her off.
followed by women.
Mhm.
What abortion then?
No, I think it's typically the worst choice, but overall, I think it's a choice that women should have access to.
That's
Talking about abortion now.
amazing. Did
Yep.
you know that
Amazing.
70% of divorces are being filed by women?
Mhm. Now we like stats, hey?
And so
We like to pick and choose when we like stats, don't we?
But
That's not good. Not good.
but so how more marriage are working better with educated women is 70% of them are filing for divorce.
Well,
for divorce.
First of all, typically uneducated women are not getting married. They tend to common law for a long time and then separate. So they're not getting included in the stats.
We're talking about the ones that are getting married.
I mean, well, that proves a point. If educated women aren't getting married, then it's kind of proving our point here when we say like women getting college educations, there's kind of an issue here. You know, that it's because it's not so much them getting college educated that's the issue. It's this notion that we're telling women you aren't full people, or that you aren't real people, or that you aren't women unless you're putting off marriage and having children and going to college first and getting an education, getting a job, becoming a girl boss. Like, that's our argument. That's why we don't like it, because no, a woman's main duty is to be mothers and, you know, loving wives and being mothers. And when we have this brainwashing going on by feminist propagandists saying, no, actually, you need to become girl bosses. And then these women become like late 30s, early 40s, and the eggs are drying up and they're childrenless. And these women regret it. It's not a good situation. But when she says that, it's kind of proving our point.
Right. Well, you're talking about educated versus uneducated. And I'm saying one of the issues in the uneducated category is they're getting married less often. They common law more
But
often.
we're talking about the ones that are getting married and divorcing.
Yep. And so educated, I think it's not just educated women. I think women.
The way she goes, yep, nope. She does that a lot. She goes, yep, nope. I hate it when she does that. I'm trying to find where we should be getting there, where she gets like her thoughts on abortion.
Overall initiate divorce
But this
more often than men do.
report says 70% of divorces are being filed by women.
If you don't trust my stats, how am I supposed to trust yours?
Do you trust that?
I don't know. Where's your source from?
The sources.
Because you didn't trust mine. So it's
Yeah, well, because your sources are so obviously full of shit. But his logically follows. See, here's how you know, like, little like hack to know that if someone's sources are legit or not. Like, you don't always have to look into them. You kind of just know. Like I said, if someone's arguing with you, the sky is purple, and they go, "Here's my stats for that," you're gonna like, yeah, I know those stats are full of shit. I could just look up and see that it's blue. It doesn't logically follow. Okay, but his stats about women are initiating more divorces, that logically follows. Like, you could think of it logically what the thought process is on why more women are initiating divorces. When women get the alimony, when there's no fault divorce, they get the alimony, they get the children, they get the child support. And so there's more incentive for women to get divorced than there are men, then obviously it logically follows that women are just going to initiate more of the divorce. It just logically follows. If you're in a marriage and you could just leave the marriage and there's no fault, there's no guilt, you get money and you get the children, and the husband gets, and the husband just pretty much gets left high and dry, then yes, it would logically follow that more women would initiate the divorce. That's how you kind of know that his stats are probably more legitimate than hers.
It's going to be tough to, if you get to use stats and I take it for granted, but when I use stats, you just say, huh, that's made up. Now we're at an impasse.
But you
now
just throwing out
you get
stuff.
to use something I don't.
You're just saying stuff that you don't even know what you're talking about.
You could just be saying, you could have just typed up stuff on ChatGPT.
But he's right, though. She's just saying stuff she doesn't know what she's talking about.
It could have just made something up. I'm willing to grant it. The issue is I'm looking for you to grant me stats in return, right?
Okay, I'll let you have some.
See, so that's she just see, her main thing is like, you have to give me my stats if you want me to give you yours. She's like a child. She's not interested in having a good faith conversation. She just wants him to grant her the stats just to validate her stupidity.
Okay.
Do you believe racism exists?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they moved on from that. I'm trying to find this part. There's one part here with the abortion.
If you support it legally, that means you support it.
Nope.
What's abortion?
Do you support
I
abortion?
support the legal access to abortion. It's probably the wrong thing to do on average. It's probably more noble to not, but I think the societal impacts of not allowing abortions is horrific.
So you do support abortion?
Legally.
I didn't ask that. If you support it legally, that means you support it.
Nope.
What's the difference?
My faith is not the same thing as my politics.
Ah, did you guys hear that? My faith isn't the same thing as my politics. So Jesse Lee Peterson is asking her, well, wait a minute, you're a Christian though. How is it that you're okay with abortion being legal? And she says, like, yeah, that obviously that's not the preferred outcome. I prefer that women didn't get abortion. However, I support their legal access to it. And he's like, well, how can that be? You're a Christian. And she says, my politics are separate from my faith. But didn't she just say earlier that men and women should put God first? Does this sound like she's putting God first when she says my politics are different from my faith and therefore women should have legal access to abortion? To me, it sounds like she's putting her leftist ideology first. It seems like she's putting her politics here and her faith second. But earlier, she just said everyone should put God first. Well, lady, it doesn't sound like you're putting God first. And in the end of the day, this is how you're proving Jesse Lee Peterson's point. When he says women are illogical, they probably shouldn't be voting because they don't know what they want and they don't know what they're talking about and they're emotional. This was perfect because it perfectly proved his point. Like right here in real time, that she's emotional, that she doesn't know what she wants, she doesn't know what she's talking about, and she probably shouldn't vote. Because who says something like we should all put God first, but then say, well, my politics are different from my faith? Like, who says that? And she does that a lot, by the way. She contradicts herself a lot. And yeah, she's someone that always tries to sound smart, but she never does. And so I just thought that was fascinating. I wanted to share it with you guys. If you want to see the complete interview, it's down in the description down below. What did you guys think about it? Leave a comment down below. Give this video a like if you liked it. And if you want to see more content like this, I got more stuff on my channel. And I encourage you to sub to Jesse Lee Peterson's channel, which I'll also have linked down below.